Welcome to the stream. It's an interesting camera angle. Whatever, we're leaving it. We're leaving it. We're doing game dev today because I want to learn Godot. And apparently I need to feel like somebody's watching me in order to actually do it. So here we are for Game Dev Wednesdays. And I'm gonna make a cookie clicker clone in Godot. And no, I don't know what I'm doing. My prep for this was I installed Godot and I opened it to make sure it would run. I literally haven't even created a project. There we go. Okay, we have a project. This is going to be a 2D thing. And let's switch this scene here. I have a project. I'm going to silence my phone because, of course, the instant I start streaming is when everybody messages me. Every time. Okay. So I literally haven't even done a tutorial yet, so we're just... Okay, we have a 2D node. I should probably have done a tutorial before this, hey? Well, I have documentation open, so let's start with documentation. And I guess I will also be learning Godot's language. So, you know, add one more thing to the resume, why not? Before you start, the tutorials and resources page, okay. I like text just fine. Godot engine is a feature-packed cross-platform game engine. Okay. Free and open source, we love that. Getting started contains the necessary information. Step by step. Okay, perfect. We're gonna work through this tutorial and then we're gonna change it to be cookie clicker. Okay, nodes, the fundamental building blocks of your game. They are like the ingredients in a recipe. There are dozens of kinds that can display an image, play a sound, represent a camera. Okay. Nodes have names, properties. They receive callbacks to update every frame. You can extend them with new properties and functions. You can add them to another node as a child. That is important because nodes form a tree, which is a powerful feature to organize projects. Different nodes have different functions. Combining them produces more complex behavior. As we saw before, you can build a playable character. As we saw before, did we? You can build a playable character the camera follows by using a character body, a sprite, a camera, and a collision shape. Nifty. I don't know where exactly we saw that, but sure. When you organize nodes in a tree, call this a scene. Once saved, scenes work like new node types in the editor, where you can add them as a child of an existing node. In that case, the instance of the scene appears as a single node with its internals hidden. Okay. Scenes allow you to structure your game's code however you want. You can compose nodes to create custom and complex node types, like game character that runs and jumps. Okay, great. Essentially a scene editor. Creating your first scene. Okay, here we'll actually do something. Actually, hang on, I want to see where we're sitting in the software category. Who are we competing with today? Oh my. There's some big name streaming software today. Okay, we're just gonna hang out at the bottom of this list. That's fine. That's fine. Know what else I forgot to do? I forgot to change what way my camera's facing. Come on, flip horizontal. Oh my god, that's... Oh my god, that's not even what I wanted. You know what? It's fine. It's fine the way it is. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna stop messing with it. We're just gonna learn game dev and I'm gonna stop pretending I know how to stream. Ugh, okay. Hello, Hypersaper. Hello. How are you today? Why are words hard? Hello. How are you? I am apparently losing brain cells trying to figure out the most basic thing in Godot. But I'm hoping to make Cookie Clicker. That's the plan today. I'm learning Godot by making Cookie Clicker. You're good? That's good. Everything's good. Everything's fine. It's all fine. Nothing is on fire. Studying linguistics and words will become easy? I sincerely doubt that. Language is difficult and messy, and I don't think anything will ever make it easier. Also, studying linguistics doesn't make it easier for them to come out of my mouth. Learning about the words and speaking the words are two completely different things. You know? It's like buying craft supplies and using craft supplies. They're different hobbies. Or buying Warhammer minis and painting Warhammer minis. And actually playing with the Warhammer minis are 3 separate hobbies. Step 2, learn Tokipona. Make your own language. Tokipona, that sounds familiar. Tokipona. I'm just Googling that. An isolating language, only 14 phonemes, and an underlying feature of minimalism. It focuses on simple near... Interesting. Oh, I am the Hermit. Sorry, I missed your follow. Thanks so much for the follow. I am procrastinating on learning Godot, but the plan today is to make a Cookie Clicker clone while I learn how to use Godot. The plus side is I already know like 8 different programming languages, so what's one more programming language? But I haven't done game dev in about 10 years, and Godot did not exist back then. So I'm learning a whole new game engine and a new language, but I do know how to program. So at least there's that. 8-ish. Ruby, JavaScript, Python. Are we counting flavors of JavaScript? Because if we're counting flavors of JavaScript and like different frameworks, then there's lots. C, C++, C#. I think I'm missing some. That's only 6, but you know. I've done many languages. That's programming languages, for the record. I only know one, like, human, natural language, because human languages are hard. Programming languages are easy. Tokipona is the world's easiest language. Always the simplicity is for the weak. Be as complicated as possible. But you don't know any programming languages, but always been interested, there's so much good stuff for learning on the internet these days. It's wild. But yeah, self-directed learning is really hard. I went to university and got a degree in computer science, and that was the only way I was going to be like focused enough to actually learn useful things. But if you are more focused and self-directed than me, you can totally learn everything you need to know at like a boot camp or like on the internet and just do stuff like this. You don't have to stream it, but you can totally learn programming by yourself if you're really dedicated. But you know, courses are also really helpful for, what's the word I'm looking for? Dedication, but words are hard and I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. But, you know, motivation. External motivation. I think that's what I was trying to say. Hardest, you know. Obviously, I'm not used to speaking this much because we've only been on for 20 minutes and my voice is already going, so this is going great. So what's everybody up to on this fine winter's day? And by fine, I mean gloomy and wet and absolutely not fine at all. It's a very unfine winter's day. What's everybody up to? What do people do while they hang out on Twitch streams? I'm always curious. While I try to figure out what I'm actually supposed to be doing right now. Just finished DVD. Is that Dead by Daylight? The zombie one? Trying to conlang? Ooh. I feel like natural languages are so much more difficult than computer languages. Maybe that's because computer languages, like, you run them and they break, and it tells you specifically why they break. But with natural languages, you just say it wrong and nobody knows what you're trying to say. Dead by Daylight, nice. I've watched some Dead by Daylight streamers, and it looks fun, but also I scare way too easily, so I don't think I'm gonna play that one. You know, it just seems like maybe a touch beyond fun scary for me. Oh, most difficult computer language in my opinion? Oh gosh. I personally had a lot of trouble with Ruby because it does things differently than other languages. But if you learn Ruby as your first language, then it's great and fine and you have no preconceived notions of how things are supposed to work. So for me, Ruby has been the hardest, but that's not the case for most people. Because I learned programming with like C and stuff, so wrapping my brain around the Ruby way of like using unless and kind of doing your if else's inside out. I struggled with that. And then there was some other syntax things that it took me a long time to wrap my brain around because they're just so different from the other languages I'm used to. But as an overall thing, Ruby is not a difficult language. It's actually probably quite a nice language to learn as your first language. Actually, JavaScript might be a really hard one because there's so many different flavors of it. Because like, there's TypeScript and there's React and there's Node and there's Angular and Ember and depending what you want to do with, there's Next. So if you want to run it on a server, there's a bunch of stuff. If you want to run it in a browser, there's a bunch of stuff. And there's a bunch of like extra little add-ons that completely change how it works. Like TypeScript makes it a typed language and it's not naturally a typed language. And so JavaScript is probably actually the worst one to learn. That one might be the worst. But I struggled more with Ruby personally. Step 3 in my conlang. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that properly. But it looks fancy. Alright, I should probably actually get a node on here. Oh yeah, because this, where is it? This is what we've got so far. We've got a 2D scene with a 2D node, and I don't know if that's even like the right thing. So we've got a blank project right now. So I want to add a node to it. 25 minutes in, I figure I should actually get a node. Okay, as a control node, these presets are here for convenience. They're not mandatory. Other node lets you select any node to be the root node. Okay. Oh. Wait, so I can add things. Oh. Viewports. Animations. Ooh. Multiplayer spawner, navigation, world environment, timer. Neat, neat, neat. Okay. We're not dealing with 3D things. Ooh, we can add music to it? Okay, cool. Oh, I can move around. That's cool. What does this button do? Ah, scripts. Assets. We're gonna have delightful developer art for this. I'm not worried about art right now, because that is not a skill that I have, and that is a later skill. Output. Oh, debugger. Search. Audio. Oh, that's cool. Animation. Shader. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Going to add a single label node to our scene. Okay, we like I like that. That's easy. Wait, so if I... Oops. Wait, I'm going to delete that node and actually follow what this tutorial says. Other node... Label? Label. Okay, we've made a label. Its function is draw text to the screen. Okay, lovely. We've added a label. Label appears in the top left corner of the viewport. Oh, this is the top left corner. Okay, so if I view out, if I zoom out. Oh, is this my viewport with this blue line here? Okay. Okay, let's make that big, because why not? And we're going to put text in it. Now, how do I put text in it? Don't want to rename it. Nope, I'm actually gonna have to read this. Is to change the label's text property. To the inspector on the right of the viewport, click inside. What are you saying? Inspector dock on the right of the viewport. You know what we can do? We can have these both open at the same time. How about that? Change the label's text property. Head to the inspector dock on the right of the viewport. Click inside the field below the text property. There's no... I recommend starting with something like a circle, and then if circle is clicked, add one to vary. Yeah, that is the plan. I'm gonna run through this tutorial just to actually learn what all the buttons do and like how to use this tool. But yeah, then it's going to be a circle, and when I click it, the counter goes up. So I recommend getting a chat box on screen. I thought I had a chat box on screen. I'm obviously so good at this. I thought I had a chat box. Did I take that off? Apparently I did. Oh, you know what? Ah, yes, I have chat box on this scene. I don't have chat box on this scene. Well, that's a later problem. Okay. Wait, okay, so that's inspector. But that... This is the inspector tab. It's telling me to be in the inspector tab. Let me scroll that up so you can actually see that. But there's no... This doesn't look the same as the tutorial. I just want to add text to this label. Why is this hard? I just... What? Okay, no, that doesn't do anything. Right-clicking on this doesn't seem to do anything. Oops, we're gonna pause for ads. Okay, I think the ads are done. Okay. I'm feeling like a very professional developer because I can't figure out how to change the freaking text on a label. Because the thing I'm working with... Oh wait, the inspector's over here on the left. No, on the right. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I got my left and my right backwards. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. Problem exists between keyboard and chair. The inspector's over here. It wants me to do that. Oh my god. I'm in it. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's embarrassing is what that is. Oh god. It's on the right side. It's on the right. Just like the tutorial says, it's on the right. Linguistics, words are not eaten. No, words are hard. Words are way too hard. Human words are way too hard. Wow. Okay. Okay, you can edit any property listed in the inspector. Okay, that's fine. I'm also gonna change this back to be called a label because I'm so smart. Imagine pronouncing words with a schwa. The schwa, isn't that? That's the like the sound, like when there's an a at the end of the word, but you don't do like an a or an a. It's just an right? That's a schwa, right? Yeah, I knew a couple of things about linguistics. One or two. Just not what left and right are. Okay, and we can move this anywhere. This is tiny. Presumably there's a way to make the text bigger. Central mid-val? Okay. Enable settings? No. Justification, clip to uppercase. Oh, okay, we've got all kinds of things here. We can texture it. That's cool. I don't want to texture it though. I just want to make the text bigger. That's not important right now. And we can run the scene. All right, where's the run current scene? Right, so you save the scene. Just required to run it. All right, sure. I have a scene. Hey! Look, I ran a game and it says hello world. Yay! Oh. I did a thing. After spending way too long not knowing what right is. Y greater than I? Just keeping an eye on the time, because if I get too into this, I run the risk of being horribly late for something that's important later tonight. Okay. The save scene as... God, I've got something in my eye. This is great. Save scene as dialogue like other file only allows you to save files inside the project. The res path at the top of the window represents the project root directory. It stands for resource path. Okay, that sounds like it'll be important later. Setting the main scene. Time is it for me currently? It is just about 4 o'clock. And I have a thing at 7. But I also need to remember to eat, because that's important. I have swing dance tonight, and I have to go dance and be social for 3 hours, and if I don't remember to eat first, it's gonna be rough. And I want it to be fun and not unfun, because I'm hungry and tired and grouchy. In our testing, we use the play scene button. Another button next to it allows you to set and run the project's main scene, which is that button. No main scene is defined. Okay, we're going to select the current one as the main scene, and it runs the game. Great. Awesome. Every time you run the project, Godot will use this scene as the starting point. Cool. We'll discuss another key concept in creating instances of a scene. Currently 6 hours ahead. Ah, so it's like early evening for you. Oh. I've been knitting too much and my hand hurts, and that's a problem because I need to knit more. Well, I want to knit more. Need to knit more? A bit of both. Because you know what's better than creating esoteric things in code? It's creating physical things. Esoterically with sticks and string. Just casually living in the greatest country on earth. 6 hours ahead of here. Presumably Europe somewhere. I'm afraid my European geography sucks. Like, if it's outside of the UK, I probably don't know where it is, which is pathetic. But you know, who needs actual world geography in North American schools? That would be, like, useful. Just north of the worst country? In quotations. Oh gosh. There's a whole cultural thing going on here that I don't even know. What's the worst uncountry, apparently, because it's in quotations. Save scene works as a print. The worst is Denmark? What's so wrong with Denmark? What's going on up there? Best is Sweden. I've no oh, excuse me. I've never been to either, so I couldn't say. Apparently producing words is hard. Oh my god. Oh, there's history there. Gotcha. I understand a little bit better now. Yeah, I know absolutely nothing about the history of that part of the world, because if you weren't, like, directly involved in World War II, you didn't get covered in school. Apparently, you're not important enough for North American social studies if you didn't participate in World War II. Not even participate, but like, if you weren't a big player in, then you don't get covered in social studies. So I know absolutely nothing about Europe that isn't the UK and Germany. Just absolutely nothing there. And I'm sure there's tons of fascinating history there, but don't know any of it. Definitely didn't sell iron or send volunteers. Definitely didn't? Okay, sure. Sure, definitely didn't. Okay, let's use instancing in practice to see how it works. We invite you to download the Balls sample project. Ugh. Danes lost in 6 hours? Their only tank was borrowed by the Germans? That's very short-lived. It's probably why they didn't make it into the North American history books. Deserved. Goodness. Not friendly over there. I don't want to import a whole new project. Or do I? Maybe I do. Another ball sample project. Extract it. Ow. You actually gonna teach me anything important? I suppose I should actually do all this. It's probably useful. Let's extract. Okay, extract it to import it. Godot project. Quick to project list. Import. Downloads. And open this thing. Import and edit. Fine. One day, it'll actually stay open on the screen that I put it on. Because that would be... Oh my god, what is going on? Over here, please. Close that. There we go. Project contains 2 scenes. Okay. 2D. Ah, okay. Got it. Let's add a ball of the child as a child of the main node. In the scene dock, select the main node. Click the link icon at the top of the scene dock. Okay. Add instance of a scene as child of currently select a scene node. Oh. Okay, we've added a ball in the top left corner. This is good. Click on it and drag it towards the center of the view. Okay. Play the game by pressing F5. Hey. Oh. Apparently I can make lots of these. Wonder if I can break it by making too many. Apparently not, which is a good thing. Okay. Cool. We can add balls. Nifty. With this feature, you can change the properties of one ball without affecting the others using the inspector. Change the default properties of every ball by opening the ball scene. Making a change to the ball node there. The ball node, select the ball node in the inspector on the right side, clicks on the physics material. Physics material. Ooh, we can have bounce. Okay. I apparently can't change that, though. What have I missed? From the physics material. Edit? Oh, there we go. Sure. Play the game again. Oh, and now it's bouncy. Cool. It's now just an individual instance. Head to the main scene. Main scene, okay. Select one of the instance ball nodes. And in its inspector, set its gravity scale. Gravity scale? Gravity scale. Whoa, that's sure. Back with tea. Oh my god, tea sounds like such a good idea. I'm gonna have to make tea at some point. I don't know why I didn't think to do that before I started. That's so smart. Thank you for a very smart idea. I'm learning how to do physics things with an instance of a ball. Neat, okay. So I can change properties on instances, and I can change properties on the whole thing. Scene instances as a design language. Okay, I think I want to read this in full screen. Scene instances as a design language. She's right? Sure, yeah. Sure it is. 100%. Absolutely. I definitely remember how math works. haven't had to do math any more complicated than like calculating taxes in so long. It's generally the most complicated math one needs for programming. Unless you're doing something really specific. This is Godot offer an excellent design language, setting the engine apart, and blah blah blah. Okay. We recommend dismissing architectural code patterns when making games with Godot, such as model view controller or entity relationship diagrams. Instead, you can start by imagining the elements players will see in your game and structure your code around them. Oh. Alright, this is going to break my brain in new and interesting ways. Blah, blah. Break down a shooter game like so. Can come up with a diagram like this for almost any type of game. Okay, I think that generally makes sense. So you have a diagram, recommend creating a scene for each element. A scene for each element. This language of scenes is going to confuse me for a while, I think. Because a scene is not a scene like in a movie or a play necessarily. It's a collection of objects and properties that can itself be an object in another scene. I think that one's gonna get me for a while. Programmers tend to spend a lot of time designing abstract architectures and trying to fit components into it. Designing based on scenes makes development faster and more straightforward, allowing you to focus on the game logic itself. Because most game components map directly to a scene, using design based on scene instantiation means you need little other architectural code. It sounds like a good idea. Imagine we started by creating the room. We could make a couple of different room scenes with unique arrangements of furniture in them. Later we could make a house scene that uses multiple room instances for the interior. We could create a citadel out of many instance houses and a large terrain on which we would place the citadel. Each of these would be a scene instancing one or more sub-scenes. Later we could create scenes representing guards and add them to the citadel that would be indirectly added to the overall game world. Okay. Am I a fan of roguelikes? Sometimes. The type of game I'm into changes frequently. So at the moment, meh, but in the past and probably again in the future, yes. Which is a needlessly complicated answer. Try Angband? Is that on Steam? I'm taking every opportunity to be distracted here. Can you tell? But where is the search? Angband. Looks like not. Sort of a, well, it's roguelike, presumably. What's the gist of that one? Okay, cool. Scripting language. It's on the web at least for free too. Oh. Oh, cute, and it's ASCII art style too. Single player dungeon exploration. Cute. I'll check that out later. Alright, scripting languages. Attached to a node and extended behavior. For example, take a game where a camera 2D node follows a ship. The camera 2D node follows its parent by default. Imagine you want the camera to shake when the player takes damage. As this feature was not built into Godot, you would attach a script to camera 2D node and code the shake. Okay. Ooh. The weather outside is gross. I don't want to go out later. I have to, but I don't want to. Okay, Godot offers 4 gameplay programming languages: GD Script, C#, and via its GD extension technology, C and C++. There are more community-supported languages, but these are the official ones. Figure I'll just use GD Script, because why not? You can use multiple languages in a single project. For instance, in teaming code gameplay logic in GD Script is fast to write, and use C# or C++ to implement complex algorithms and maximize their performance. Or you can write everything in GD Script or C#, it's your call. Interesting. Don't think I've encountered a game engine that's perfectly happy to run multiple different languages before. That's nifty. What language should I use? Recommend start with GD Script. Sure. For C# you'll need an external code editor. While C# support is now mature, you will find fewer learning resources for it compared to GD Script. That's why we recommend C# mainly to users who already have experience with the language. And it's been a hot minute since I've used C#, so might as well just learn a whole new language. It's fine. GD Script is object-oriented and imperative. What does that mean again? I don't remember. Uses statements that change a program's state. Example? What does that mean? Focuses on describing how a program operates rather than on high-level descriptions of expected results. To use in contrast to declarative programming. Procedural programming. Oh my. Sure, whatever. I don't need to know what it means. I just need to know how to write the language. Okay. No garbage collection. Agent counts references and manages the memory for you in most cases by default, but you can also control the memory if you need to. That might become important later. Gradual typing. Variables have dynamic types by default, but you can also use type hints or strong. Oh. So you don't have to type. That's interesting. Looks like Python. Great. I love Python. But it doesn't work the same way. Inspired by multiple languages, including Squirrel, Lua, and Python. Years ago, Godot used Python and Lua, but languages integration took a lot of work and had severe limitations. For example, threading support was a big challenge with Python. Developing a dedicated language doesn't take us more work, and we can tailor it to the game developer's needs. We're now working on performance optimizations and features that would have been difficult to offer with third-party languages. Okay. I don't think I need to read the C# and all this rest. The stuff, don't need that. Creating a script. You will code your first script to make a Godot icon turn in circles. So exciting. Create a new project, start with a clean slate. Well, I don't exactly have a lot of complicated stuff going on in here. So let's go back to, oh my god. It's opening on the other monitor. One moment. Don't think my little Hello World label is really going to mess with things too much. We need a 2D sprite node. Oh, I don't want it on my label though. Move down? No. Reparent to new node. Nope. That's not what I want. Let's try this again. Can I make that the scene root? Sure. And I'll just delete my label, that's fine. Never played D&D. I have played a lot of D&D. Not recently. But pre-COVID, I think I was in like 3 different campaigns? Is that right? At least 2. Oh, so doing delete. Done a tiefling warlock and a halfling bard and oh, dragonborn, barbarian dragonborn. He was fun. He had a great axe. He'd solve problems by axing questions. Life was very simple. Spellcasters are fun, but there's so much management. It's because I'm often, if I'm playing D&D, it's probably in the evening and my brain's probably kind of fried, and so just having the character that just, can I hit it with a stick? Will that solve the problem? Great. Ooh, human paladin turned warlock. Sounds like an interesting story. They went over to the dark side. Needs a texture. Okay, I'm going to add a texture. Texture. How do I do that? Oh, here. Texture. What kind of texture? So it's empty display. Click and drag the file icon SVG from the file system dock onto the texture slot. From the file system dock. What does that mean? Like that? No. Ah, there. That's fine. Center it in the game view. Sure. Create and attach. You can attach a new script. Right click on the Sprite 2D and attach script. Attach script. Allows you to select the script's language and file path among other options. Change the template field from node default to object empty. The other options alone. Okay. Okay, what does that translate to? Also, does your conlang have a name? My headphones are shedding. There's like this like vaguely leathery stuff right around the foam, and it's been shedding for months, but it's coming off in really big chunks now. Blech. Also, does your conlang have a purpose? Beyond just being for fun? Is it like intended to be used in a D&D setting or something? Ah, dark side. Yeah, okay, that looks like it could mean dark side. GD script file is implicitly a class. Called Nusfrig. Oh my god. I'm gonna need a phonetic pronunciation on that. Nusfirag? Yeah, I'm gonna need some phonetics for that. No purpose, just for fun. Just for fun is a perfectly good purpose. We should do more things just for fun. Do I know IPA? I'm thinking IPA means like India Pale Ale, so I'm gonna go with no, that seems wrong in this context. To which IPA are you referring? New Sphere Ag. International Phonetic Alphabet. Oh, yeah, that's definitely not beer. Definitely not beer. And I'm aware that it exists, but I'm not very familiar with it. Neither are you. Fair enough. It seems like a language unto itself, honestly. What time are we at? might be just about time to go make that cup of tea. I think I'm gonna finish this tutorial page and then we're gonna take a little break and I'm gonna make some tea. Because I've got tea on the brain now. The voice dental fricative is epic. I kind of know what that means, and I don't think I can do it. I think that's one of those things that my mouth doesn't want to do. But I bet it sounds cool. Oh, that thing. The O with one of the O's with a hat. All right, let's make this do something. Funk. That thing? That thing is... Oh, the hat thing? Wait. I don't know what symbols are. Symbols are even worse than words. Okay, we don't need to break this down. I understand how this works. GDScript is an indent-based language, like Python. Okay. Save the scene. And then run the scene. And we've got a hello world down there, which is what we wanted. Hey! Typical ginger. Psh. Whoa now. Whoa now. Not even a ginger. This is faded purple hair dye. Which only looks red because the sun's not out. I swear under blue light it looks purple. But under yellow light it looks red. I swear I have purple hair. For reals. Okay, what are you telling me? Oh, not ready to present run it. Okay, great. Delete the init function. Okay. We've done that. Don't need that anymore. Okay, make the thing move and rotate. I'm gonna add 2 member variables. So near the top of the script after okay, that's fine. Global variables. No semicolons. Do not put semicolons. Resist semicolons. We can just do, oh, that's nice. Okay. We can just have the word pi and it'll pretend it's a number. Angles in Godot work in radians by default, but you have built-in functions properties available if you prefer to calculate angles in degrees instead. Cool. I'm gonna have to remember how that works later. To move our icon, we need to update stuff. Use the process virtual function of the node class. If you define it in any class that extends the node class, Godot will call the function every frame and pass it an argument named delta, the time elapsed since the last frame. Games work by rendering many images per second. It's called a frame, and they do so in a loop. We measure the rate at which a game produces images in frames per second. Most games aim for 60, though you might find figures like 30. Okay, sure. The engine game developers do their best to update the game world and render images at a constant time interval. There are always small variations in frame render times. That's why the engine provides us with this delta time value, making our motion independent of our frame rate. Okay. So this is saying we can do function. Process. Delta. Try pronouncing a harsh sh sound with a trill. Rolling R. I can't roll my R's. So yes, that sounds very challenging, because I can't do half of that. So rotation, which is apparently a new variable that we've just defined. It's going to be our angular speed times delta. So it works like Python, or it looks like Python anyway. Starts with a leading underscore. By convention, Godot's virtual functions, aka built-in functions, you can override to communicate with the engine, start with an underscore. Okay. Probably be back. All right. We're gonna take a break soon to get tea, so don't panic if there's just a BRB screen. Inside the function, angular speed, increments our sprite's rotation every frame. Rotation is a property inherited from the node2D class, which our sprite extends. It controls the rotation of our node and works in radians. In the code editor, you can control-click any built-in property or function to open the corresponding documentation in a new tab. Oh. So if I click neat. Huh. So now if we run the scene, it should spin. Hey, look at that. It's spinning. Beautiful. Now let's make it move. Okay, so now we're defining velocity. Vector 2, whatever that is. 2D vector, probably. Up, dot, rotated, rotation. Okay. So I'm guessing that this is saying velocity is 2D vector in an up direction, rotated by our rotation variable times speed. And then position is going to be velocity times delta. Okay. And that should be it. Hey, look at that. We made a thing that flies around the screen. Awesome. Moving a node like that does not take into account colliding with walls or the floor. In your first 2D game, you will learn another approach to moving objects while detecting collisions. Node currently moves by itself. Next part, listening to player input, will use player input to control it. Okay, cool. We did the thing. So I'm gonna break for a cup of tea. And I'll run some ads while I'm gone. And we'll be back in, I don't know, like 5-ish minutes? 5-ish minutes. Let's say 5-ish minutes. All right. Break for tea. And we're back. I have tea. I have a little spinning thing. It has been running the entire time I've been gone and hasn't crashed. So that's a vote of confidence for the game engine. I would be very, very sad if it had crashed while I was gone. were very, very disappointed in my coding skills that I had done something to make it crash while I wasn't even here. Moving right along, what are we doing next? Player input, okay. Not that I need this for Cookie Clicker, but it seems useful to know. Another important feature of the game, giving control to the player. The built-in callbacks, mainly unhandled input. That was 10 minutes, not 5. No, it's 5 minutes in the parallel universe where it was totally 5 minutes. In my personal universe where I decide how long things take. And I said ish. It was ish. Also, I couldn't find any white sugar for my tea, so I put brown sugar. Good call. Brown sugar in tea? A+, recommend. Okay, what is unhandled input to? Built-in virtual function calls every time the player presses a key. It's the tool you want to use to react to events that don't happen every frame, like pressing space to jump. And more about using input callbacks, using input event. That sounds like a thing that I will want later, so I will open that in a new tab. And there's the input singleton. It's a globally accessible object. And that's if you need to check for input every frame. Sure, how do I say 10 in your conlang? The input singleton here is we need to know if the player wants to turn or move every frame. Oh. We're turning, we should use a new variable direction in our process function to replace the rotation with some other stuff. Sin, not Alvsin. Just sin. Okay. Direction. Correction. Yep. Direction is 0. If input dot is action just pressed, UI left, okay. Direction is -1. And if input dot is action just pressed, UI right. Oh. Direction equals 1. Oh wait, but okay. And then we need rotation is angular speed times direction times delta. 10, not 5. Yeah, shush you. Direction local variable is a multiplier representing the direction in which the player wants to turn. A value of 0 means the player isn't pressing either key. 1 is go right and -1 is go left. Okay. To check if a key is pressed, we call input is action pressed. Directions we use are predefined in every Godot project. They respectively trigger when the player presses the left and right arrows on the keyboard or left and right on a gamepad's D-pad. Nice. Finally, we use the direction as a multiplier when we update the node's rotation. So now we just flew off the page. That's let's try that again. Okay, we can turn left and right. Oh, okay, so we don't want this right now. Moving when pressing up. To only move when pressing a key, we need to modify the code that calculates the velocity. Oh, I mean, that's why I auto-filled just pressed, and I want just is pressed, not just pressed. That's why. Okay, that's why I had to repeatedly press the button to make it actually turn. That makes sense. So now velocity is going to be a 2D vector 0. And if input is action pressed UI up, then velocity can be vector 2 up. Rotated by rotation times speed. Okay, we can spin both ways. This is good. Up and down aren't doing anything. Well, I didn't expect down to do anything, but up isn't doing anything. So what have I done wrong? What is action pressed? Velocity, vector 2. I don't, because this I think is resetting the velocity to 0 on every frame, which is not what we want. Okay, yes, and then we want that rotation. And then, okay, but we have that, and we have that, and oh, we still want that line. I was a little too excited about getting rid of stuff. Ha! It works! Haha! Well, alright, that's kind of fun. Room. Okay. Cool. Oh, in summary. Every script in Godot, let's not spill tea on everything. Every script in Godot represents a class and extends one of the engine's built-in classes. The node types your classes inherit from give you access to properties such as rotation and position in our sprite's case. You can also inherit many functions, which we didn't in this example. Okay, that was fairly straightforward. This tea was such a good idea. I need to drink more tea in my life. Signals. Okay. Messages that nodes emit when something specific happens, like a button being pressed. Signals are a delegation mechanism built in Godot that allows one game object to react to a change in another without them referencing one another. Using signals limits coupling and keeps your code flexible. Nice. For example, we might have a life bar on the screen that represents the player's health. When the player takes damage or uses a healing potion, you want the bar to reflect the damage. To do so in Godot, you would use signals. Okay, we'll now use a signal to make our Godot icon from the previous lesson. Move and stop by pressing a button. We'll create a new main scene, which will include both a button and the sprite scene, which is called a label scene because messy tutorials. Okay. Scene. New scene. 2D scene. And in the file system doc, file system doc, drag the scene into this one. I want to add another node. Add child node. And we want a button. There's many buttons. Probably just that one. Alright, I made a button. Also write a label on the button by editing its text property. Vroom. Run it. I want to save. Ah, here we go. No 2D scene. So we should have a button, and it doesn't do anything. Okay. We have a button that doesn't do anything. We're making progress. Okay, we want to connect the button's pressed signal to our sprite, and we want to call a new function that will toggle its motion on and off. We need to have a script attached to the sprite. Which we do from the previous lesson, yes. We can attach things in the node doc. Okay, select the button, node. It's a list of signals, so when we press the button, then we connect. The node needs a receiver method, a function that Godot will call when the button emits a signal. The editor generates one for you. By convention, we name these callback methods on button pressed. Okay. Oh, there's an advanced mode. Lets you connect to any node and any built-in function, add arguments to callback, and set options. Cool, that is a later thing. Click the connect button. To complete the signal connection and jump to the script workspace. You see the new method with the connection icon. Great, it's connected. If you click the icon, a window pops up and tells you where it's coming from. Nice. So we don't want this bit. The sprite moves thanks to code in the process function. Godot provides a method to toggle processing on and off. Another method of the node class is processing, returns true. Idle processing is active. We can use the not keyword to invert the value. Set process. Not is processing. This will toggle processing and in turn the icon's motion on and off on pressing the button. Before trying the game, we need to simplify our process function to move the node automatically and not wait for user input. Replace it with the following code, which was the stuff from earlier. So now we should have it moving and not moving and then moving and then not. Vroom. Not. Cool. Can connect signals via code instead of using the editor. This is necessary when you create nodes or instantiate scenes inside of a script. Let's use a different node here. Godot has a timer node that's useful to implement skill, cooldown times, weapon reloading, and more. Back to the 2D workspace. In the scene dock, right click on the sprite 2D, add a child node that is a timer. With the timer node selected, go to the inspector, enable auto start. Click on the script icon next. Okay. Ah, nifty. Okay. Need to do 2 operations to connect the nodes via code. Need to get a reference to the timer from sprite 2D and call the connect method on the timer's timeout signal. Sounds better. Nus Friag or Darg Friag? Firag? Oh god, I don't know. I don't know how to properly pronounce either of those, so if you want people to be able to pronounce it, don't use weird symbols. But also it looks cooler. New language or dark speech? New language has a feel of being invented. Like we purposely came up with this for some sort of political reason, whereas dark speech is just... Yeah, those guys over there, their language is called dark speech. That's my take on it anyway. Connect the signal to scene. Instantiate. We can do that with node ready. Okay. Get node timer. Okay, so get the thing called timer. Timeout dot connect on timer time out. Timeout dot connect underscore on underscore timer underscore timeout. What if I spelled wrong? Nothing. Okay. Oh, because we don't have the function on timer timeout. That's what it's complaining about. So we'll make it. Fun fact, Morgoth, Lord of all evil, not Sauron, of Lord of the Rings, invented the language of the orcs. Little Lord of the Rings factoid. Is that like Silmarillion facts? I tried reading that once. It was too much like a history textbook. Too many facts, not enough story. I was also like 14, so maybe I should give it another try. Spell equals not visible. So controls the visibility of our node. That'll toggle a value. If you're on the scene now, you'll see the sprite blinks on and off. Huh. Nifty. We now have the blinking moving thing. Well, that's not annoying at all. That's the complete script, custom signals. This is just for reference. You can find custom signals. Like show game over screen when player's health reaches 0. Okay, this is a later thing. What? Okay. Your first 2D game. Okay. We're getting there. We're so close. We're so close. Should I go with something that looks Welsh? Just for the fun of it. Dark Language of Great Kings. It just reminds me of that place in Wales that's like 40 letters long or something. That's what that looks like to me. Oh, okay. Do I want to do the 2D game tutorial, or do I just want to dive in and try to make Cookie Clicker? To complete a create a complete 2D game. Structure a simple game project, move the player character, and change the sprite, spawn random enemies, count the score. Well, I definitely need at least half of that for Cookie Clicker. Sindarin Elvish was based on Welsh. Did not know that. That's neat. Okay, we have at most 40 more minutes before I have to go eat dinner, which I hope will be made for me, but might not be. I'm hoping dinner will magically appear. I suspect it won't. intended for beginners who follow the complete getting started. If you're an experienced programmer, you can find the complete demo source code here. Create some game assets you'll need to download so we can jump straight into the code. Oh, maybe I just want to go look at the code. Oh, no wait, I want to open that in a new tab. What? Demo products? Which folder contain... Okay. 2D? Oh. Cool, well maybe I will just dive into Cookie Clicker. Jeez, skeletons, penetrated. Alright. Well, let's just dive in and figure it out. I believe I want to delete everything. And delete all these scenes. Don't need that. Don't need those. Okay. Is blank. So, do we want for a root node defigure 2D scene, 3D scene? These are all just... that just is how it is. Okay. Well, I think I can kind of do whatever I want. Maybe I want to use your interface. And I definitely want a button. Can I make it round? Flat? No. Text behavior. How do I make text bigger? Because I would really like this text to be bigger. Visibility? No. Texture material process? Nope. You would think that changing text size and font might be a very obviously visible thing. Oh, here we go. Colors. Constants, fonts, font sizes. There we go. That's better. Okay. And we'll need a label. Or is there a counter? No. Okay, label. Label it is. And then I think I will just grab a generic node. I'm attempting to make a cookie clicker clone in order to learn Godot. So I've been through the bare basics getting started tutorial to learn how to even use this tool. But right now I'm my grand goal is to be able to click on this button and have a counter go up. That is the big plan right now. We're familiar with cookie clicker, right? Like this. I opened this tab this morning just to remind myself of how this game works. But yeah, there's a cookie, you click it, you get more cookies, you buy things to get more cookies faster. So the grand plan right now is click the button, make a counter go up. I want to rename you to be counter. Gave up on it because mobile version is abandoned of cookie clicker. I honestly wasn't sure cookie clicker would even be on the internet still. It's like an old thing, isn't it? No, does it say? Version 2? God. Versions. Why are there... Why? It's just... Okay. So, okay. Now, if I remember from the tutorial right, we have signals. So button. On button pressed? Toggled or pressed. This is down. No. Let's go with on button up. We're going to connect to counter. What? It's because I don't have a script. Attach script. try that again. On, button up, attach to counter. There we go. You've got variable count, starting at 0, and on button up, add 1 to count. Sure. And then okay, I'm gonna have to connect this one with code. Maybe. Actually, why not call it Dark Language of the Great Kings for Humans? All humans. Is the world gonna have a short version of that language? Because nobody's gonna say 30 syllables every single time. They abandoned it in favor of the browser version because they make more money on ads. Well, yeah. Can you blame them? I mean, it sucks, but can you blame them? Put all that work into something, you might want to get a little bit of money for it. Probably just call it direct speech. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. Okay, so I've got a counter. And I need to display the counter in a label. Which I think means this is going to need a script. Getting late. Yeah, it's very late for you. Have a good night. I'm only going to be on for another 20 or 30 minutes. Then I gotta head off too. Probably put a pay model to it. I mean, yeah, but ads are easy. I don't like it, but I understand why people do it. Okay, what is the best way to update a label? I think I need that bit of the tutorial about signals. Signals. Connecting the signal via code. Okay. So under the ready function, we need to get the node that we're connecting to, which is counter. So we're going to call that counter. I'm gonna have to make it send a custom signal. That's, I think, what I gotta do. Custom signals. Okay. So I can make custom signal file and to emit a signal, call emit on the signal. Okay. So I'm just trying to think about the best way of doing this. And by best, I mean way that makes sense. Because I have a counter object that's storing the number of cookies. And I think I want it to emit a signal when that number changes. How do I do that? Define custom signals in a script. Okay, so your counter. No, this one. If I define signal count updated, then in label. Wait, okay, count updated. Connected to label on counter count updated. You should have a text dot. No, how do I? God, why? What? You have a text component. Yes, yes. You're a label. How do I set the text on you? Text edit? Line text editor. Nope, that's not what I want. I just want to set the text. Godot label set text. Rue script. What do we got? Okay, properties. Horizontal alignment. Dot text. Set text. That's what I want. I'm going to modify that to pass a variable. You're going to display that. Nope. How do I define a signal that passes things? Here's the next question. Oh, I just... Okay. So I have a button giving a signal, so unbutton up. We add one to the count and emit the count updated signal, which sends it to the label. Which should update the text. Let's see if that does anything. Oh, it crashes. Whoops. What? That? No. Close the program. Yes, I crashed it. Great. Oh. Okay. I called it wrong. Count updated. Dot emit. Like that. Okay. Oh, I broke it again. Okay. I want to set text on this thing. I want to set text on myself. Is this like a self that set text? Like a this? Nope. What am I calling set text on? It's not like that, is it? Python-y? Ooh. Okay. Not like that. Come on. close your thing. Ugh. Oh, wait. Cannot convert argument from int to string. Yes, of course, because... Will that work? We must be making progress because I'm crashing things. Come on. Tell me how to turn ints into strings. Do we have a toString? Is that how this works? Oh wait, hang on. What I want is an int. I want to know... No, I want to make a string from an int. So can I just cast it like... Like that? Maybe? No. So, string from int. Why is this the most difficult thing in the world? Wait, is it like that? Does that work? Non-existent string constructor. I just want to know how I can display a number. That's all I want. Okay, Godot. Godot. Display a number. God. I just want to display a number as a string. That's all I want. All I want. It looks like it should be that simple. This can't be... Just... Come on. This... Can I print count, at least, and make sure that this is working? Okay. The count is going up. We're just not displaying anything. Let's try this. Value of type int. Okay. String. Count. Let's try that. Non-existent string constructor. I just want to see this work. This is not supposed to be the hardest thing in the goddamn world. Will that work? Okay. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Let's make your text bigger. Under theme, new, colors, constants, fonts, font sizes. 50. And we'll start with 0. And I'll put it here. So does anybody know how I can display a number in a label? Because apparently that is really hard to do. Can I something like that? GD script. Number in label. Is it stir? We did it! We did it, guys! We did it! I can click the button, and the number goes up. Ah. Glory. Glory. Oh my god, that only took too damn long. Ugh. But it is 6 o'clock. I need to go have dinner. And then I need to go dance. So we're gonna leave it here for today. And we can start doing more interesting things next Wednesday. I'm doing... My schedule for the foreseeable future is Game Dev Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern. Learning Godot. Doing Cookie Clicker. Until I come up with a better idea. Or until you guys give me a better idea. Fridays will be Dwarf Fortress Fridays, also at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that will go until I get tired. Yes, there's a hard end to streams on Wednesdays, but there's not a hard end to streams on Fridays. They're more do whatever. So I'll see some of you on Friday, I'll see some of you on Wednesday, and I need to come up with a thing to say at the end of these. I'm so good at this. Professional!